I just heard about this. I didn't know they did this, but they suspended the debt ceiling, which means they're choosing hyperinflation. Um, Maybe that's why they came out with all this alien crap, because they wanted to hide the fact that they're suspending the debt ceiling. What does that mean for your 401k? What does that mean for cash? It's gonna be complete. It's gonna get more and more devalued. Um, money is something that you need to continuously move it, because if you just hold it, you're losing more and more value. So if you hold your money in a bank, you just hold it, or you hold it underneath the mattress. With this hyperinflation that looks like they're probably going to do, because the government cannot stop spending money, you're going to see your dollar be more and more devalued. They're not going to cut off welfare, and I don't think they should cut welfare off completely, like just stop it completely. I think they should wean people off of it. Because what's currently happening is females nowadays, well, females before too, but women are almost like they're out here sleeping with drug dealers irresponsibly. Now, if they like that guy because he's fun or whatever, cool, whatever, that's your life. Hang out with them. But what happens is they have irresponsible sex with that person with all the different contraceptions that they can use. They got like 11 of them. But they end up getting pregnant by the fucking loser. And then guess what? The guy fucking leaves her, and then she goes on welfare, and then we have to fucking take care of it as taxpayers. And that shit needs to fucking stop. Like I said, if you wanna have a loser in your life, you wanna hang out with some fucking loser, that's cool, man. But you should start having to be responsible for your fucking bad choices. It shouldn't be put on all of us. Also, like the boomers who have this mentality of, I paid into Social Security and I earned it. Well, guess what? I have too, and I'm not getting it. It's gonna run out, should be in like 2032. Medicare is supposed to run out 2026. And with the interest rates high as they are, all that stuff's gonna run out probably quicker than is projected. So they're not gonna be able to pay those entitlements, the government. For instance, like we have to pay $1 trillion a year for interest on our debt. And what they want to do is they want to inflate the currency. They want to devalue it to try to devalue that debt. And if you stay in that currency, your value, your wealth is gonna drop. And that's why I think the stock market is booming right now, because people are trying to get out of the dollar. They want to get into different assets. How people have handled hyperinflation in different countries in different scenarios, they started buying commodities. They started buying different assets. They wanted to hold like gold or silver or whatever they could, because they knew if they stayed in that dollar, it was going to continue to lose a ton of value, and they wanted to try to try to hold their value. And if you have debt, guess what? Your debt's about to be devalued too. So I'm not too too keen on holding dollars. In fact, I paid a chunk of my debt off. I still have a significant amount, but how much cash I was holding in my bank account is a lot less now because I decided to pay the debt down. Because before it was like it cancels each other out, holding cash and debt. But since they want to choose hyperinflation and unlimited spending, now they just suspended the debt ceiling, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna stay like that. They could put it back on, but I don't know. I mean, we got the Republicans in Congress, but if the Democrats take complete control in 2024 over everything, like that dollar, like it's just like holding on to cash and keeping your cash in some type of place, and it's not keeping up with inflation. You're just losing money. So with the boomers, what I want to talk about that is like, man, we're gonna have to like they're not getting Social Security. Like, I should be able to opt out of Social Security because I'm not gonna get it. Why the fuck should I have to pay for it? I don't want to pay for it. These boomers are extremely wealthy. Not all, but a lot of them have like multiple houses, multiple cars. Well, start selling that shit. The Gen Z, they can't even fucking buy a house. So fuck you. That's the mentality that the young youth's gonna have. Like, dude, I'm over here slaving away. I can't fucking get anywhere. I can't fucking buy a house, and buying a house is stupid right now because of high interest rates. And people aren't selling. People, like, why would you want to sell your house when you're in a low interest rate? So, like, we don't have supply either. So the housing market is just pretty much stagnant. People would rather just rent out the house and then go rent somewhere else or something. I don't know. It's dumb. If you have a house, why would you want to sell right now with the high interest rate? So you can go and buy something else and get a high interest rate? No. Unless you're going to downsize, unless you're going to sell out of a leftist crap hole and move somewhere where it's the standard of living is a little bit lower, and maybe the crime's lower, something like that. That's the only way I would sell. But if like you're in a decent area, why would you sell at this point? Yeah. So that's the only thing they can do is hyperinflation, man. That's the only thing they can do. They put themselves in a corner. And then we have the BRICS coming out this month, coming up in August. That's probably going to dethrone the dollar to be the new world reserve currency. And that is probably, they know this, and that's why they probably, another reason why they suspended the debt ceiling. They're just going to keep spending and inflating. And a good way to beat inflation is huge supplies. But it seems like the Biden administration is against that, so he want to deplete the oil reserves. And I guess it's a little bit better than what it was. He doesn't want to drill, so we're not energy independent, so we don't have to rely on other countries and buying their oil and shipping it, using a lot of energy to ship it to America. But yeah, it's I think I would do something like I basically would say fuck the dollar, fuck the Federal Reserve, and just issue. If I was America, I would just come out with my own currency, backed on like actual assets, because it's based on nothing, only guns. But I would have it backed by something, so it's somewhat legit. Because there's a lot of good resources. America has a lot of good. It's not like Venezuela, when Venezuela only had oil. Like America has a lot of different diverse things. I mean, obviously we're a service economy, but we could bring back jobs, and we're gonna have to too, because we're probably gonna go to war, which we have a depleted service. We got a woke service, a soft service compared to what it was. We've drained a lot of our ammunition resources by giving it to Ukraine for a war that has nothing to do with us. And it's going to be interesting. You know, China manufactures a lot of things that we consume, and all they have to do is find somebody else to consume those. Maybe they consume them themselves. But that's why we need to start bringing back jobs, making our own stuff, and that's going to cause more inflation, and it's going to be expensive to do that. There's going to be low supply, man. There's going to be supply problems coming up for sure. That's why I say, like, people are going to have to pick and choose what is more important. Like AC, you know, I've used AC basically once this summer, and I only use it for a little bit. And my power for the last 2 months, it's been $100. $100. Now, if I used AC, it'd probably be about 100, and that's for 2 months. Yeah, I said that. That's if I was to use AC, you know, run it the whole time, keep my apartment cool, probably would have cost me like $300 instead of $100. Food's about to go up, so that's going to be most important is food, warmth, and shelter. And obviously you need to get back and forth to work. But like all these extras are going to be going bye-bye, man. People aren't going to be able to afford to go to the movies. People aren't going to be able to afford to go on dates. They're not going to be able to afford to go out to eat, go to fucking vacations. Like, shit's about to fucking change, man. And it might not change tomorrow. It might not change next year. But, like, it's going to get harder. It's going to get harder, and people are going to have to pick and really figure out what's most important to them. And we spend a lot of money on our entertainment, man. Here in America, we spend a lot of money on entertainment. And you can see how shitty entertainment's become. Whether it's video games, movies, music, TV, whatever. You know, people are going to start cutting shit off, man. Because they just straight up can't afford it. Food prices are you're gonna see like shit get real expensive, man. So that's something to look out for. You know, I want good things to happen. I don't want fucking doom and gloom, man. And also, like, these people that have constant doom and gloom, like when they're always talking about it, it's like, especially like when they're like, oh, tomorrow something's gonna happen, and then nothing happens. It's like, dude, shut up. You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. I'm just like saying that we're not going to die. It's not going to be a complete collapse, but it'll be a collapse to the standard of living that most of us have been used to.